Senior Department of Justice official telling our own Jake Gibson, quote, Special Counsel Mueller is not recommending any further indictments. Again, the news coming from the Department of Justice, a senior DOJ official, quote, Special Counsel Robert Mueller not recommending any further indictments.
Well, that's significant, Brett, although I think it's when it comes to this, the question we're all waiting finally at long last for the answer to, on this question of collaboration. It's been discussed at some length throughout all of this, whether if there were such collaboration, it would be a crime. And if Mr. Mueller decides that no indictment should ensue because of that, that doesn't necessarily mean he didn't find any improper hanky-panky between the Trump campaign and the Russians. It may just be that he found that it wasn't criminal. Now, my own sense about this is that it's hard to imagine that it's come as far as we have, with as much effort has been made to investigate this whole matter, both inside and outside the government, that if there'd been any such thing, that we wouldn't have heard about it by now. But it is worth keeping in mind that there is this legal question of whether if it had been turned up, it would have even been a crime, and therefore if there are no further indictments, that might not mean that they found nothing improper.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that we don't know yet, but that sentence in and of itself, after all of the months and months of speculation of what could happen, the fact that they are saying that this special counsel report does not recommend any further indictments is significant in and of itself, just on its face. It's right to point out that the Southern District of New York is continuing its investigation, that there are more investigations on Capitol Hill. But if this report, Britt, does not deliver the punch that perhaps critics of the president or Democrats had hoped it would, and it seemed like the coverage over recent days, there was a preparation for that fact up on Capitol Hill. If it doesn't, will the president then take that and say, see, I told you so, you need to stop and move on and get things done?
Yeah, he undoubtedly will say that. And I would suggest this, Brett, that Democrats on Capitol Hill have already been signaling that even if he doesn't find anything in the neighborhood of collaboration, that they intend to pursue that issue further. Particularly Adam Schiff on the House Intelligence Committee intends to pursue that. I think if Mueller comes out and there is nothing suggesting improper behavior between the president and the Russians before the election, I think a lot of the political wind will go out of those sails, because a lot of people are going to look at this and say, "Come on! I mean, you've been pursuing this all this time. Now Mueller, whose long-awaited report is upon us, he didn't find anything. What are you doing?" So my sense about that is that while those investigations may drag on, they may have to drag on with a lot less media attention than they once would have hoped for.